All right, it says we're live. And howdy, everybody. Welcome stream. We've got a couple of people that are not coming due to being at the convention and driving back and so forth. And we've got a couple of people that have things going on and they let us know they wouldn't be here. So we're going to go ahead and start and see what happens. We've got an awesome panel here already. We don't have any official guests tonight, and that was on purpose because of the conference. So let's see who's in the chat. Let's see. While it's short, let me do the welcoming. Oh, I waited too long, didn't I? There's Grasshopper. There's G. Instead, call him G. Conversation going there. Trying to get past it without missing Craig Doniger. Howdy, howdy, welcome. Lucky Smith, welcome. Stephen Truthseeker, welcome. Freaky Fish Lady Holly.
Freaky!
G again. Paul McCarthy, welcome. So we'll probably have some more people come in when the notification goes out. I haven't seen it yet, but so what's everybody up to this weekend? We're just going to kind of talk amongst ourselves and about our own fishes and things that are coming up and that kind of stuff.
Working and playing with fish and reptiles.
Yeah, and you have a fish you mentioned in your stream earlier today that you're going to show us tonight at some point. So,
Oh yeah, my new flower horn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Named what is
Kyle.
his name?
My wife named him.
Kyle.
My
Kyle.
wife named him Kyle.
Kyle. A flower horn
Those are
named
the best
Kyle.
fish names.
And what have you been up to, Fishmania, Ethan?
Oh my gosh, so much. It's been very, very busy. But in personal fish keeping, I'm looking for. I have a few wholesalers looking for me a sweet potato puffer, the Minuatus or the Min. I think that's the one it is. The Congo puffer, the one that buries itself in the sand. I want it so bad. And I finally have. It's one of those things when you're in the hobby, for a long time, and all of you know this, of course, you get in and out of like being. You almost get into a grind, where you're staying steady for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm super into this again. Let me find something that like makes me super excited, whatever. And I was in a grind for a long time. It was really busy at the store this summer. And then it was like probably a month ago, I saw a few videos because I'd seen them before, but I saw some videos they've got one at the Atlanta Aquarium, and they were doing some videos of that one. I can't remember its name, but I was just blown away at how personable it was and how fun it was to watch it hunt. And it buries itself in the sand, which I think is cool. Like they call it sand wallower, wallowing, because they wallow down in the sand. And I just think that would be so cool to keep. So I am looking so hard for it. But yeah, that's the personal fish life.
I think they had that guy when I was there almost a year ago. I'm trying to remember. I remember the wallow and how it settled down in the sand.
Yeah. Super cool behavior. Amazing behavior.
Yeah. So, and nothing new's going on with me. You guys see me all the time. I want to talk about my pacus a little bit. I guess I could do that. Ethan's going to hook me up with somebody at the aquarium, the Tennessee Aquarium. I went ahead and emailed them a couple of days ago, just general email, to see if they had any interest at all in them. And I just described them as tank raised and very calm, hand fed, 14 to 15 inches, your usual aquarium fish. And haven't heard back, but that was probably Friday night that I emailed them, so we'll see. But if not, I am going to have to get them out in a pond in the next month or two because they're going to break this 180. They're really super strong and they hit the sides and they're going to break it. I'm afraid they're weakening the seams as it is. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So got that going on, and in fact, they've got everything all stirred up in there now, so that's good. I'm going to do a half water change on them, so it's good. They've got, you know how when I'll get feisty and dust everything off, and it gets in the water. That after this, and I'm getting 17 of those the barbs that Stubbs showed us in his tank, and Dan's Fish has them, and they're like the filament. They're in that same family, the filament and the mascara barbs. Dawkins something like that. And anyway, these are really not very common to the hobby at all, but I've got 17 of those being sent Monday. So I'm really eager to move those Paco on out of there because those barbs will want that space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on. Yeah, cutting down my fish tank's all right, but yeah, they'll take that 180 over from the Paco one way or the other. So. What's up with you, Mike?
Well, I haven't done very much of anything for the last 2-3 weeks for some obvious reasons. So starting to get back on my feet here, and hopefully things can start looking up. So
Mike had a little health scare, and so that kind of slowed him down, and deliberately taking it easy for a bit. So he's improving every day, I believe.
for the most part, yeah, I think so.
Awesome. There's already a question in the chat talking about the pothos. Wanting to know what we think about letting the pothos grow in your tank. I've done it for a long time, and I've never had any problems with it. I know there are a couple of mammals, maybe cats or dogs, I don't remember which, because I never let mine get where they can get it, but as far as fish, it's perfectly fine for them as far as I know. Does anybody have any different experience with it? Or?
I've never done it, but I've never heard anything. I've never personally heard anything negative about it. So
Yeah, I've got it almost out of every. I mean, I've got pothos and monstera growing out of my aquariums at home, just because it's good for the propagations, and it's also good for the fish tank to take out a lot of that nutrient.
I have pothos in all my tanks, and what I created several years ago was there's this black canvas like mesh they use for arts and crafts, and I just pulled it around and zip tied it all and put them all in that with the suction cup against the inside of the tank. So the roots, because the roots can be overwhelming. They can get overwhelming. They can attach themselves directly to the paint on your wall. Like if you don't keep them in check, they can get quite large. And this kind of keeps them in check because I also heard that the roots might not be that good for the actual fish. That's why a lot of people keep them in their filters. But I put them in this container. And then when I was at the Keystone Clash 2 years ago, there was a guy there that, what do you call that, where you print out actual things? A 3D printer. And he designed what I made in mesh, but out of the 3D printer that was submersible just for that. So you could put plants in there and it clips onto your tank. So I knew I was on the right track, and I absolutely love them. I keep them in check all the time because I've had them peel the paint right off the wall, and it's they get thicker than like telephone cables. The aerial roots get pretty thick. So, but I love the pothos. That's the easiest plant to grow in my aquarium because I have a lot of aquaponics. So pothos is.
Rereading that, he did say the roots specifically, so I didn't tune in on that. So, okay. I hadn't heard that about the roots, but I'll be finding it out because I've got a lot too. And G wants to know if he can email you some pictures from your email at Fish Mafia link.
Sure.
I got some videos from you too, G, and I don't think I have looked at them, but I don't think I answered you. But some nice big
I don't know
tanks.
what the email me at Fish Mafia link means, but you can email me at susieqaquatics@gmail.com if you want. Susie
It's pro-
Q Aquatics. The Q Aquatics is my name and Susie is my name. Never mind. Susie Q Aquatics at gmail.com is perfect.
So what's going on with you, Susie?
Well, yesterday was so exciting. Bucks County Aquarium Society, that's my aquarium society, had their picnic, their yearly picnic.
Oh,
So it was all free raffles. We went out collecting. It was very family fun. I won two things, this wood and a $50 gift certificate to Super Cichlids, which I love Super Cichlids. Lisa and her husband have done an amazing job with that store in Delaware. They just partnered up with Hans Discus. So they have his discus as well. So that was exciting. That was as far as the picnic. But in my personal fish room, tearing down 10 tank, 9 or 10 tank, mostly 40-gallon breeders, because I'm tearing them all out of the upstairs, and I'm going to give John a room so he can have a room with no animals or fish in it. Pretty hard to do. So I took down there was like 9 or 10 tanks, 3 different shelving units, big metal shelving units. One I had to put outside, and one it was a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. And now all I got to do is mud up the walls and paint. And now he gets to play with his new toy, his spray painter. So he's going to spray paint everything.
Love
I'm going
that.
to go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, those are fun to use. I love
Yeah.
them.
And then we'll have a bedroom without fish or animals in it, which I don't think I've ever had.
weird.
What is that?
I know. I don't think I've ever had that. So that's what's been going on in my life.
It seems like things have kind of slowed down a little bit, but maybe it's just me, from the heat and the summer and so much going on. But yet I don't know why I think that. I'm still going, as fast as I can go. So Pam let me have off last night. She said she might go and she might not, and then I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to take off. I need a mental health evening, just 2 hours, And I did. All I did was lay in bed and doze, so that it was nice, So.
Oh, I love doing that.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what I was doing before I got here. I almost didn't make it because I was sleeping.
Yep.
Yeah, those little naps. I'm telling you.
I got off my stream and I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Nice. That's my favorite thing to do. I
Eddie
have an
was
outside hammock chair now that I can do it outside by the pond.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Here in like 2-3 months, I'll be able to go sit out on my pool deck and
Nice.
not die.
Not diarrhea.
Let's see. We missed you last night, Bob. Oh, thank you. I missed your ears. Go back and look at Pam's stream last night, guys. Grasshopper was on there, went up on the panel with some ears on, like Pam's ears, some Mitch's
Nice.
ears. So, yeah, she sent me a picture of it, so trying to entice me in there. But I just told her it was special. So,
Yeah, special.
Grasshopper's a good guy, I'll tell you. I want to call him a kid, but he's not a kid. I'm going to show you guys this spot there. While I'm thinking about it, I'll forget it. Like I say, they've got their water all dirty.
Are you going to make you big?
They're big. Wow.
Oh, there we go.
That's the bigger one.
Wow.
It's hard to really tell.
Yeah, they're good size. You can tell
They'll-
the size difference between them and the filament barbs in there.
Yeah, they'll eat out of my hand and not bite me, so they're really sweet, gentle fish.
They're huge.
They are huge. They are huge.
Is that a Geophagus in there with them?
Yeah, there's a bunch of geos in there.
What kind is that? It's pretty.
Is that Spheni?
Do what now?
That's not Spheni, is it?
That one came from Ginger Graves.
Oh, not the one with the pointed, like the more pointed face.
That one, yeah.
That one right there, yeah.
Jurapari, I think.
Jurapari, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's beautiful.
It's kind of hard to see in there right there. There's another Jurapari. Little one. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, when those guys are good, they're good, but they're so big now that any little friskiness and they throw a half a gallon of water in the floor. I mean, literally.
Oh, wow.
They're just so big.
And
Yeah.
that's a pacu. Is that in the same family as piranha?
Yeah, they're a
Yeah.
tetra.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're present. Yeah. For
Do you know
sure.
how to tell a tetra, Susie?
No.
Paku is probably the best example. Bob, look near their. Do you see the little fin in between the dorsal and the tail fin?
Yes.
I can't remember the name of it, but that's what
The
makes a tetra a tetra.
It's the
Oh,
adipose
really?
fin.
Adipose, yeah.
Adipose.
Almost exclusively, but one not
Not entirely.
Right.
Yeah, like the carry tetras. There's a couple common ones that don't, but 99% of them out of the hundreds or thousands,
Yeah,
it's got that. It's a tetra.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the one that got the heater burn right there,
Oh, look at him.
long time back. Yeah, that's a good 15 inches and 14 there.
Wow.
Yeah, they got to either go in that big old pond or they got to go down yonder. And I'm sure in that great big thing they have their pacu in, they'll look small, but if they get to go in there.
I'm sure that's where they put it.
Sorry, I turned that back around before I let myself
No, you're good.
Yeah, that's
go back
good.
down small now. Scared myself. Okay. All right.
Susie moved tanks.
You what?
Susie moved to different.
Yeah, I just moved it from here to here. Yeah. I'm actually sitting right between
The two.
Triton, yeah, and my 180. I thought I saw some of my polypters come out, so I thought, let me keep the camera on here in case they decide to. Because usually when I'm sitting in front of the tank, the polypters do not come out. So
Yeah. What have you got in there?
in this tank, I've got an Oscar,
Hold
a
on.
peach Oscar back here, about maybe 8 inches. This annoying parrotfish, 6 to 8 silver dollars. I think 5 or 6 of them are spotted, and a few of them aren't. 3 different polypterus. I got the ornata. I got the Senegal, which is right here, and I forget what the other one was called.
Stephen asked me, I missed it a while ago, if that tank has a full cycle. It does. Yeah, it's been cycled about 3 years. They do that about every other day. That'll clear up in about 30 minutes. It's just stuff that's landed on all those plastic plants. And then the pacu get excited when I come in and sit down and flip it around. It's clear water. It just doesn't look clear.
Oh yeah, there's the Polypterus. Is that a Enlacheri?
Yes, that one. That's the one I forgot. There he goes. He's just.
I call him enchiladas.
But my
Enchilada.
ornata is just absolutely spectacular. Like so thick and round and bright yellow and
Oh,
gorgeous, gorgeous. I hope he comes out while we're here. I don't know if you can see these waves. I have these.
Yeah.
It's like almost like if it's filled to the top, water will come out.
really?
Comes out of the tank. So I have it down. I have screen lids because I lost an Oscar last week. 40-gallon breeder screen lids on until I can make my own lids for this 6-foot by 18-inch aquarium. So
Hmm.
I didn't
Pretty.
think they were in danger because I kept it down 4 inches, but the Oscar jumped out and was almost 6 feet away from the tank.
That happens sometimes. Wow.
Oh, I remember that was on one of your morning streams last week.
Yeah, and it was so horrible because I found it live.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
remember
thinking
that.
to myself, I got to move the camera. My floor is really messy. And I'm like, where's my fish? And then I got to move the camera away because I started crying like a baby.
Oh.
I remember that. I was in there lurking when that happened.
Like, oh my God, that was horrible. But now I got the screen on top. So I'm hoping I can make a lid that's suitable for this. But it's got to be like for a working fish room. I can't
Yeah.
have a hard time removing lids to feed because sometimes it's like feed. Like I gotta keep going. I gotta do everybody's water, everybody's salad, everybody's food, everybody's misting. There are days that I get to feed and sit and watch, but there are many days that let's get going. I got a lot to do before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Stephen, I've got 2 of the titles, the 110s on the far end, so they blow this way. And then I've got a couple of wave makers on that end. And then I've got 2 large sponge filters on that end. So lots of filtration. Probably over filtered.
Is there such a thing?
There's no such thing.
I was gonna say that. I like that word though.
I mean, unless you put like a FX6 on a 5-gallon tank, I don't think there's really such a thing.
No.
With a
You
bed
wouldn't have
in it.
water in the tank.
No, it's like
Yeah, that's right. It'd be all water in the canister, and then all water in the tank, and then all water in the canister.
That's funny.
And that title really does a good job too on that big tank with those big
good
fish.
filters.
Yeah, they are.
Very good filters.
It's about
Well,
the only.
that's my issue with the titles because they're my favorite filter. Because if I lose power and then it kicks back on, the title will start right back up again. But if it's just a little bit too low, I have burned out motors because they don't just stop; it just keeps grinding.
Yeah.
And I don't hear it.
They
So that's my only downfall. Like if only that part of that filter could be lower in the tank.
That's the problem with the new Marineland filters. Have you seen the pros? The ones with they've got the pump on the inside of the tank.
No.
Yeah, if they gets too low, it'll still suck water, but they get too hot sometimes and burn out that impeller.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
was about to blow you up, Mike, and then he jumped.
Oh yeah. Let's see what Mike got.
Jumped. It's a cat for you.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey, Melvin.
I thought we were staying on Mike.
what's in the tank behind you, Furlow?
Oh boy. I've got my Starry Night right here.
Oh, beautiful.
My favorite cichlid.
That's my favorite cichlid.
Oh my god.
Oh, those Congos are pretty.
See that.
And I got my 2 Oscars in there
Yeah.
and my ornate biker. And then a couple, I got a pair of Royal Acaras in there. Trying to straighten this out so it's not crooked.
So you gave me a great idea of adding my Starry Night cichlid to this tank right behind me. You got the same fish in it.
Yeah, I mean, the Starry Night and the Oscars pretty much stay out of each other's way. I mean, they get into it every now and then, but it's just because one of the Oscars will go over to his area or vice versa. You know.
Right.
And then you've got Congo. I like
What's
that. Your Congo tetras are gorgeous.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
I've had those for a while. I got them. But the owner of my local fish store was getting rid of them, and I couldn't. She had them in one of her personal tanks, and I couldn't pass them up.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite tank.
It's one of my favorite tetras.
And
So
what- You have
Oh.
one fish can't identify that just went behind the hardscape.
Well, it looked like an Akara.
Yes. Okay, that's an
It's
Akara.
a royal Akara.
Oh.
I guess I want to say it's like not a new Akara, but a newer discovered one, because they got them in at my local fish store once, and I never heard of them. I looked them up, and it said they were kind of, I guess, newly discovered.
Wow. Look at I could watch this tank all day long.
But to me, it's like if a Jack Dempsey and a Green Terror had a baby, that would be it.
Oh.
What's up with these new gold Congo tetras I'm seeing for sale?
The gold Congos, and
Yeah,
I want to say my local fish store got some in.
they're
They got
expensive.
they got some albino ones in too, and they actually, I have them on the hunt for me. They got some red Congo tetras in.
Oh, those are gorgeous. Oh my goodness, those are beautiful.
They're really hard to get, and they got them in once, and I missed them by a day, and somebody bought them,
Oh man.
and they were like $100-something a piece too. They're not cheap.
No, they're real expensive.
Yeah.
Stephen wants to know if you gravel back.
Oh yes.
Yep.
As much
Is
as I
it
can.
gravel or is it blasting sand?
It's just like it's not blasting sand. It's just the kind of fine black sand you buy at the pet store or whatever.
You
But
could
I
probably
do-
use a kitty litter scoop with those guys.
I never thought of that. I could because these two plecos in there. I mean,
Massive.
anybody that keeps plecos know they have like a 12-inch turd coming out of them almost at all times. Drives me absolutely like right after I do water changes. It's like, oh, thanks. I just sucked it all out, and now you had to drop another one.
Wow, this is
Now-
In the chat.
Oh.
Hey, Sam.
I see Extreme Food and Hikari up there. What's
Yep.
the one in the middle? Is Hikari as well?
The kind of white and red. That's
Yeah.
that's the carnivore pellets.
Oh yeah. Which one do you like better, the Extreme or the Hikari?
I like both the same for different reasons. I like the Hikari because they make a floating pellet, and my Oscars only eat from the top. Don't ask me why, but my Oscars
Because they're Oscars.
Because
I
they're
have-
Oscars. That's right.
I have some of the most picky Oscars you'll ever see. Like I feed my biker tilapia, and the Starry Night eats it too, but the Oscars will get it in their mouth and spit it right out.
oh my goodness.
Rotten.
They're pretty ridiculous.
Now, the extreme food, I know Rob told me, he's not here, but he told me he was going to quit carrying bug bites. He's going to start carrying extreme.
Yeah,
And you already carry extreme, don't you?
I do. Yeah, it's a wonderful food. I love the ingredient.
Oh yeah.
They-
Now,
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say if Extreme came out with a floating pellet, I probably wouldn't have the Hikari.
Yeah.
Is that Extreme like the big fella?
That's the community peewee. That's for
Okay.
some of the smaller fish.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I like the Extreme. First off, from a business standpoint, the packaging's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Second off, from a hobbyist standpoint, the ingredients are awesome.
Mhm.
My fish love them. They go crazy just like they go crazy for the bug bites, and yet it's less expensive because you get more in a container than the bug bites.
Oh, yeah.
They run like when they're sitting side by side, you can see like the prices are the same, but it's because I don't know how to explain that better. The Extreme, you get like a whole nother ounce, I guess, or 2 ounces more than the bug bites, and yet it's the same price. But yeah, no, it's a really good food. I wouldn't replace bug bites just because it's got such a good reputation, I guess, but
Oh, yeah.
the extreme pellets also have a great reputation, so it's definitely a good one to add. That's the funny thing with fish foods at a fish store. The reason most fish stores, especially older ones, have so many fish food lines is because it's so hard to convince people to go with a different food. So if you stop carrying their food, they stop coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I really love the bug bites, and I think my fish like it better than extreme because I had some extreme somebody gifted me or I won or something, and that's been over a year ago. And I mix it in sometimes, but they definitely like the bug bites better. So
Yeah, and that's why I carry both, is because everybody's fish have different tastes.
Yep.
yeah,
That's why I started going to my local fish stores, because they carry the extreme. They're the only one in the area, I think, that do carry it down here.
yeah, and
Somebody
Omega One.
Yeah. Somebody asked earlier how I keep Congos with Oscars.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I guess you could say I'm lucky because they've been in there. They all grew up together, but I mean, the Oscars don't really go after the small fish.
Yeah,
Surprisingly.
yeah, agreed. I think they'd be more territorial towards the big old. What's the guy on the right side? The Starry Night.
Starry Night, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the only time they really spat is like if the Starry Night goes over to their side,
Right.
and they won't even like bite them or anything. They'll just chase them off. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So how big do you think my Starry Night needs to be?
How big is he? How big is he right now?
He's probably about 5 inches, and my Oscar's 6.5, 7 inches.
Yeah.
They're about the same size.
You might be okay. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think the Starry Night was in there first, and I got the Oscars when they were pretty small, and they never really messed with each other.
Okay. Yeah, they may not mess. And I have a beautiful female Jack Dempsey that I want to add at the same time.
Right.
And your tank just, oh my God, I love it. Beautiful tank, beautiful tank.
What kind of filtration's on there? An FX6?
There's an FX6 on there, and sponge filters. I had an FX4 on there, but I still have the FX4 hoses on it, but they're interchangeable with the stick. So I put a 6 that I had laying around in there because for some reason the outtake wasn't spitting out any water, and I took it apart twice and cleaned out the impeller and did everything I could to it. And I'm gonna try to order another motor for it. So I just switched it out with an FX6 bucket, and it's fine now. It's basically like a built-in wave maker in there now.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
The Starry Night loves it. Ever since I put the higher flow on there, he goes up there and just swims in the current.
That's what I was thinking, because this tank has such a great flow. I know the Starry Night would love it.
Mm-hmm.
I just add some more plants and rocks, sneak the fish in, and I'll sit here for a couple days with a net just in case.
Let's see if I can reach this thing.
What fish did you put in there last? Steven's saying had the most aggressive last.
There's my flower horn right there.
Oh, look at him.
That's not his.
Is his color good? Is he a Thai silk?
He's a Thai silk, and
Oh, he's beautiful.
full disclosure, that is not his permanent home.
Yeah, before
That's
people start commenting.
I have from my buddy Eddie. I already bought the tank from him. I just got to wait for him to empty it out. I got a 72-gallon boat for him.
Oh, beautiful.
So that's just his quarantine tank right now. So
Wow.
That's like a 30-gallon tank, isn't it?
that's a 20 high.
So what fish are used to create the Thai silk? That's what you called it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
What about the original flower horn? Was that the actual Trimac Red Devil?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I have no clue.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
researched that once, and it was supposed to be like 4 different fish,
Okay.
but I don't remember what.
I'm just curious because I think they pick like 3 or 4 of the meanest fish in the world, right?
Right. I think so.
I'm really happy with this fish because when I bought him, that top fin, what it didn't come to a point like that. It came to a blunt end. And I've had him for about a month now, and that fin grew out really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And his hump is probably doubled in size since I've had him, and he's probably grown about an inch or so since I've had him.
And
Wow.
what does something like that cost?
He was over 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think. I don't remember how much he was.
I think he'll look really good in a boat. I have a 74 boat front upstairs. That's my salt water. That's perfect for that fish.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tanks is 72 bow fronts. What I grew up with actually, what got me into the hobby. Me and my dad, when I lived with my dad up in New York, that's what we had in the house.
Does it have the built-in overflow?
No, it was just
Okay.
we just had to. I think at that time, that was a long time ago. I don't know if there was such thing as canister filters or not, but we had just big hangout backs on it. Then I got some fancy plecos in there with them. I got a bumblebee and that bristle nose that just went up there, and
Oh yeah, I see him now.
some there's a little rubber lip in there.
And he doesn't mess with any of them?
No, and the crevenses. I mean, the crevenses. He didn't really mess with them. I mean, he'll.
I think that's the key is adding the fish in when they're so young.
Yeah. But he'll be by when he gets into 72. He'll be by himself.
Yeah. Oh, you won't even keep the rubber lip. I mean, those rubber lip.
I might put the plecos in there with him.
Yeah.
But those crevenses, they're going to my local fish store anyways.
Okay.
I got to get rid of them before they breed again.
Yeah. It's smaller than an inch.
Oh, beautiful! Wow.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
You can take me down, Bob.
Take it down.
Take it down. See what our time's doing. Oh, we've still got 20 minutes. Awesome. So, Susie, do you have those tanks like in a V behind you? Like,
Yeah, this is again.
Yeah.
The first thing I did is paint my fish in black, so I didn't have to paint the tanks. And this is the 180, and this is a 55 gallon that already had a backing on it. And then I basically built the fish room around these 2 tanks
Gotcha.
because I had men coming that were delivering this. Because after probably 6 weeks, I still couldn't find any volunteers to help me, so I had to hire 2 guys to come set it up, and this is where it's going to stay forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's such a relief having my fish tanks in my basement with cement floors. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Whew. I can't tell you how many times I've had fish tanks leak down here when my kids live down here. So
Wow.
It happens.
it does. It happens more often than I wish. I have a hard time paying attention, because I try to do 2 or 3 things at once, instead of just when I was focused on what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the name of being efficient, I tend to be forgetful.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't run for anything, but when I'm filling up a tank and I forget about it, that'll make me run.
Yeah. Oh, and as soon as you hear that, it's that noise,
I literally have nightmares because I oh my goodness, running water is just so scary.
Yeah.
I will hear it in my sleep and jolt up in my sleep and be like, oh my goodness, what's happening?
The only thing worse is hearing that glass crack.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by 50 tanks. You're like, which one? What
Which
happened?
one?
What
Where?
happened?
Yep,
We had that happen once.
I had a 90 gallon that did that to me.
Oh,
Luckily, it was the crack was up at the top. So once it got past the crack, it stopped, and I caught it in time anyway. So I drained it down past the crack. But yeah, I was just sitting at the dinner table. I looked over. There's like a nice little puddle of water coming out.
Oh,
I'm like, that's not right.
yeah. Hey, because you can't tell if it's going to stop leaking or is it going to keep going. So, like, are you frantically trying to find a place to put all your other fish, or you just hope?
I had a 120 gallon at the time and 125 gallon, and I just kind of I moved all the plecos in with my African cichlids, and everything else went in the 120 gallon.
Okay.
But I didn't have much in there, thankfully. But
So, do you know how Kmart or used to have Martha Stewart clothes, like Garanimals? They had the same color coordinating for those that match each other. I kind of have to do that with my tanks because there's been times where my kids are like, I had to take them out and put them somewhere. So now, if it's red coat on it, you can any red fish can throw in an emergency. If it's blue, you can't put them with any red fish.
Oh, that's good. Smart. Yeah.
That is smart.
Yeah, but now all my kids moved out. It's like if something happens and I'm not here, it's gonna happen.
G's asking about oddball fish. I guess the only oddball I've got right now is the black ghost knife fish, and I've got giraffe cats. I guess they're oddballs. But what about you guys? Oddball fish?
the only real oddball fish I have is my bikers. But
Yeah.
other than that, mine are pretty standard.
Would
Yeah.
Pandagara be oddball?
Kind of what?
Pandagara?
Deep, but yeah. I think so.
They
Pretty oddball.
toe jam. That's pretty odd.
I think your Endla Cherry is pretty oddball, Susie.
Yeah. Especially when he sleeps in the sand and only has his nose sticking out.
Out like that, yeah.
And ever since you called it an enchilada, I'm going to name mine enchilada.
I know, right?
Enchilada.
That's my Enlace's name now is enchilada.
That's right.
I've been looking for a name for him.
I can tell you, there's so many times I think he's dead. And I'll get one of the long nets up and like, oh, are you kidding? Like, what now? Like, serious? And I go, and then he just swims away. I'm like, ow.
Oh,
The way
goodness.
he's sleeping, like, what are you doing?
Wow.
It's like, leave me alone.
Like upstairs, my clown roaches, they like sleep on their side sometimes on the bottom of the tank. I'm like, I don't even check them anymore. I know they're good.
Yeah.
I would say the clown loach is probably an oddball fish, right?
Sure.
I think anything that is kind of, because when most people say oddball fish, it's like the knives and the elephant nose whales and the bichers and the rope fish and whatnot. It's like all the fish that don't look like a fish. You know what I mean?
I
But-
forgot my rope fish. Got
Do what? Oh yeah,
I
you
forgot
got.
my rope fish.
Yeah, your rope fish.
Forgot them. Yeah.
But yeah, I think oddball fish just means hard to find for me at least,
Yeah.
or something that I don't see very often.
AT phone home.
That's right.
Could be my
I don't know
trainer.
what the noise is, and Mike's the one with the budgies that are talking. But I have budgies too that you probably can't hear. Mine are 2 rooms
No,
away.
somebody sounds like they're doing dishes.
Yeah, they're talking to his.
So that might be. My wife's cooking dinner, so y'all might have heard the oven going off.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's got it's one of them Samsung ovens, and it plays like a little tune every time the oven heats up to the proper temperature. First time it did, I'm like, what the hell is that? Like,
Susie is an oddball. Who said
Did you
that?
just say Susie's not
Oh,
a little bit?
we're all oddballs.
that's right.
We keep fish in glass boxes in our house. We're all oddballs.
Especially when somebody says, "How many tanks do you have?" I know I underplay it. Yeah, I got a few. They were already like, how many of them?
I always say I'm down to so and so now to let them know.
But it was much worse.
Like, people don't really balk at how many fish tanks I have, but when they ask me how many reptiles I have in the house, then they're kind of like,
Like, oh no, right?
Yeah. Well, you breed them, so it's
Mhm.
like sounds so reputable. When I
yeah,
say I've got 21 reptile enclosures, and they're like, "Oh, you breed them?" I'm like,
Okay,
"We
cool.
have 21 different reptiles."
It's a lot of reptiles.
Yeah.
I remember.
I did find a Central American wood turtle egg
Oh,
in the
nice.
enclosure.
Really?
Fertilized, so I'm so stinking excited. It's in my makeshift incubator over there at 80 degrees, kind of moist, with my propagating some of my house plants. So I'm hoping it hatches. Hoping because those
Oh,
Central American wood turtles are so amazing. They're land and water, personable, all in one.
I was mowing the other day and saw something I hadn't seen in 20 years, and that's a little box turtle. I'm sure it's the same one because I used to see it all the time. There used to be a lot more woods around me.
Oh,
People have built, in and stuff, but I saw it. It was going from like one flower bed to another one, and I thought, oh, I'll get its picture when I finish, and then I couldn't find it anymore.
Oh, yeah, he's still around.
Yeah, he's still around. He's been around over 20 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, as long as nobody snatches him out of the wild and think, oh, this will make a good pet.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It crossed my mind for about 2 seconds, and I'm like, no, I'd rather him be doing his thing out
Well,
here.
he's almost like a natural pet for you.
Yeah.
sorry about that, guys. A blade of grass moved, so my dogs are on high alert. Sorry.
Who's that looking at the camera, Mike?
This is Simba.
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 Oh,
Royal pain in the butt.
See, it must be getting close to supper time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that's so awesome.
All right. Is the dog washing the dishes? Steven. Maybe. I wish I could get mine to wash dishes.
I wish the dog would wash the dishes because I can't stand washing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Go through a lot of paper plates and bowls here, let me tell you, and don't feel a bit bad about it.
I just lost my last dishwasher. My 40-year-old moved out. I have 4 daughters, and so we have a dishwasher now, like a mechanical dishwasher, because I don't
Your
like
dishwasher moved out.
my dishwasher moved out.
They just said, "The heck with this, I'm done."
Uh-huh. She told me she was going to live with me forever. 40 years old, she decides to move out. But this was her bedroom. No, this was actually her living room. And I acted like, oh, darn, are you really going to?
Are you really moving out, man?
Like, I was down with the measuring stick before they started packing. I'm like,
Measuring before they were gone. Wow.
Oh goodness.
it's all good. Yep.
I haven't seen Rob 93 come in. Has anybody noticed?
No, I haven't.
I didn't see a link for him earlier.
Okay.
Well,
He hasn't been going.
Scrolling up now, I don't see him. So.
He hasn't been going. I don't know what's up with him.
Maybe starting that family, with start having babies.
Yeah.
It's hard to shuffle around then.
Mm-hmm.
He may have a video coming up to premiere or something. He's done that a couple of times. Well, it's a few minutes early, but we could probably start closing down. Anybody else has anything to talk about or questions or something to share? We get paid the same if we finish the hour or not, so no worries.
Have you seen a Rumnose Raspberry, Bob?
No.
Have you not? Oh, here. One sec. That's something cool I can show you because I'm trying to spawn them. One sec. Oh, this baby. That's the
Oh, it seems like you've been around that room before I saw it. Oh, okay.
I know. Hopefully we can see it there. No. Oh no, but he's colored up. One sec.
Ooh.
Let's see if we can turn around. So there's two. Oh well. Uh, two females and a male. Here. Let's see if.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's really pretty. Really pretty. But I'm trying to get him to spawn. I had 2 males and 4 females in here, and the males were just sparring all the time and not worrying about the females. But now
Wow, look at
they,
him.
now they stick together all the time. There he is. Come out, bud.
And you said that's a rummy nose rasbora?
Yeah, and are absolutely. Usually when they're at the store, like female, that silver color, but then you get them home and they color up like that. So gorgeous. Such a pretty fish.
That's a gorgeous fish.
Yeah. I mean that color, that blue is different than what you usually like in a tetra or a. You know what I mean? So pretty.
So I love a blue fish.
Oh, I do too.
Wow.
Here you
What
go.
contrast.
Isn't that amazing? But yeah, look how ugly the females are.
Oh, hey.
She looks like she's got a bunch of eggs.
That's what I'm hoping. She's both of them. Look at that one.
What is that plant? What is that plant? Moneywort? Or what is that?
Did he say pennywort?
Yep.
Okay.
Pennywort.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see.
That fish looks like it would have tiny mouth too.
Very small. It only eats. One sec. I'll show you. Now that I'm downstairs. One sec. Let's see where it is. Oh, here it is. So I feed them the New Life Spectrum Flakes because they don't have very many fillers, but they eat it like crazy. They do a really good job. But yeah,
Nice. Beautiful fish.
very pretty. And those females you saw them, their chests are almost so far out they're full of eggs. You know.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Now,
Not.
do you have to remove the parents once they start dropping the eggs?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I've got a few tanks up here. This is on top of a bookshelf. This one they'll lay eggs. The plant in that back corner was Rotella wallichi, and it gets really dense. And then I put a few sprigs of plants that have hair algae because, I mean, for me personally, in a tank with egg scattering fish, because they don't pick a spot and lay their eggs, they scatter them everywhere. If there's a bunch of hair algae, the parents can't get at them, snails can't get at them. It gets kind of nestled in there. So I put a bunch of sprigs of plants that have hair algae on them so that it grows and becomes bushy. That way, whenever they lay their eggs, they can nestle down in there and not get eaten.
You're
But
the first person I've ever heard growing hair algae on purpose.
well, yeah. it's mainly just because it's helpful.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen, have you seen the Okefenokee Sunfish, the little pygmy ones?
Yes.
They do the same thing. That my trick. I have it now, but when I used to breed, the male pushed the female into the algae, and then they would shake, and he would shake her eggs off, and he would fertilize them, and then they both. But they would all the eggs would be in the algae. Super cool. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much else to say except for it's a really pretty fish. I like them a lot.
I think I have seen those Boreas before a long time ago, like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, really?
And I think I tried to keep them with my rummy nose tetras, and the food was the issue. That's what made me say that about the small mouth, as I didn't have any micro foods to feed them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had them, but they starved.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a notification Danikin is alive.
Oh, are we going that late? Okay, he may have gone a little early, so we'll go ahead and end then. So thanks everybody. And hey George, George just came in, so that means it's time to leave every week. Hey George.
Right.
Thanks everybody. Nice
Thank
panel. Enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for being in the chat,
Yeah,
answering
that was
questions, and hanging out. Awesome. See y'all next week. Take care, and see you Friday on Reptiles on Mike's channel, I think. Yeah.
7:30 p.m. Eastern.